In this video, I would like to compare two classic tales, one from the Bible and one from Aesop's fables. Before we start, we would hope you like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to comment and request certain content in the comment section as well. Enjoy. The Genesis account of Adam and Eve tells how God created the first man, Adam, and placed him in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with everything he needed. God then created Eve from Adam's rib to be his companion. They were given one rule: not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. However, tempted by a serpent, Eve ate the fruit and gave some to Adam, who also ate. This act of disobedience, known as the fall, brought sin and death into the world. As a result, God banished them from the garden, and humanity was separated from direct communion with him. The story of the fisherman and his wife is a German fairy tale collected by the brothers Grimm. It follows a poor fisherman who catches a magical talking fish that claims to be an enchanted prince. The fisherman kindly releases the fish, but at his wife's urging, he returns to ask the fish for increasingly grand wishes. First a better home, then wealth, then power, and eventually for his wife to become ruler of the universe. Each time, the fish grants the wish, but the sea grows darker and stormier. When the wife asks to be like God, the fish finally becomes angry and takes everything back, leaving the couple poor and living in their old hovel once again. A lesson in greed and humility. We see some common themes in each story. Eve eats, Adam follows. The fisherman's wife wants more of everything, and the husband reluctantly seeks to fill her demands. I remember growing up thinking in regards to the fisherman's wife, why doesn't she stop asking? I suppose I did think the fisherman was too compliant. However, that wasn't my main focus. How about Adam and Eve? Eve ate the apple, which started the whole process that led to the downfall of man, right? Well, what if the point of both stories is right in front of our faces, yet we refuse to see the answer? Now, after taking a few lumps in the game of life, I have reached a new conclusion. These stories are attempting to warn us of the nature of men and women, and how quickly relationship dynamics can get out of control. So, think of it this way: sure, Eve wanted to be like God so badly that she would risk paradise. However, Adam was so attached to Eve that after her disobedience to her husband and God, he still didn't detach from her and let God take care of what needed to happen next. I am sure he thought he was being loyal, but at what cost? She acted like a child, and he enabled her behavior, then joined in. The fisherman reluctantly went back to the magical fish for additional wishes to be granted at the expense of the piece of the fish who had been generous. Every step of the way. The point being, if a man could stand his ground and not compromise on his values, on what he knows to be true and fair, and would create a better outcome, his world need not collapse. He need not be ran through the ringer when his wife attempts to unreasonably upgrade her life, style, or situation. By compromising, we as men get dragged into a similar fate. A fate that leads ultimately to additional wanting, dissatisfaction, and a trip to the school of hard knocks, if you like this type of content. Like, share, and subscribe to be notified when the next videos are released. Until then, we will see you next time.